All right, guys. Good evening. Hope everybody's well. It's 6:15 p.m. New York time on Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. Just making should be a brief video here regarding some news coming up tonight, and that is the Australian dollar employment change and unemployment rate. The two main headline features. Looking at the employment change, they are not expecting a good number here. They had 54,000 the last time, expecting only 14,000 this time, so it's positive, but obviously it's quite a ways down. So we'll be looking for a potential deviation here, and I'll show you some other information in a second. It also, of course, will depend on what the breakdown between full and part-time is, and also the participation rate, which will come out with the report, and all of that will play into where the prices go. Unemployment rate is expected to stay the same, which it's been the last two reports, and so again we'll see where that goes. So let me see here. So just looking, so on the unemployment rate, they're expecting a range anywhere from 5.4 to 5.7. So anything outside of that, higher than 5.7 or below 5.4, obviously will be a large number. And on the employment number, the actual jobs number, they're expecting a high of 64,000, a low of minus 10,000. So 15,000 is the current projection right now. Actually, it's a little different on Forex Factory than this, but it's close. 14.1 here, 15 here, so whatever, call it 14 or 15. Here's the 15 here. This is the Reuters number. So anyways, so here's the range. So anywhere inside of here would probably be expected. But I do think, if we got anywhere up near 64,000, that would be quite impressive. So the participation rate, which may not be as important, but still is important. They're expecting it was 65.3%. They're expecting around about the same, maybe a slight tick down, but overall the same. And there's not a big range here, so that probably won't change very much. It'll probably come down to the full-time versus the part-time number. And you see, there's no projection for the full-time numbers. Last time it was 40,000, but I would keep an eye on this number and what the actual employment number is, which is the overall, with everything combined. But these are probably the two most important numbers. And so a quick look at the charts. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag, but here's the Euro Aussie around the 6-hour chart, and going down here. This to me looks like this probably wants to go down again. So we on the daily chart, we had this nice move down, and we've kind of been correcting up the last few days, really the last 5 trading sessions after these 2 big days down here. So I would suspect that again, if we're trading kind of down right before the news comes out, then I'd reverse that position. But if we're still up around these areas or trading a little bit to the upside, then I'd look for this to go down. We've got a little over 2 hours to the news, so this is let's go to the 1-hour chart. We've got another a couple of candles that are going to paint here. So that's Euro Aussie. So if that's true, then that means the other Aussie pairs should the Aussie front pairs should go up. So here is now this is an interesting. You can see on the Aussie dollar, I had this previously labeled a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I may have incorrectly labeled this. Maybe this was the wave 4, so it's a little bit of a conflict in my mind because of this. But this is a pretty aggressive move up, so I'm thinking maybe this was maybe the wave 4 here. So just to avoid confusion, although I could end up being right, I'm going to take that label off. But here, if you move down a little bit on the charts, this whole kind of move down looks corrective anyway. So we had the CCI go up compressed on this move up, and then we had this move down with the CCI spread apart. So that would lend itself to an upside move. Now it's one of these things where we could see the price, the Aussie, go down temporarily and then recover. So if you do take a long position, give yourself some leeway here, because that's not uncommon. So Aussie Canadian kind of looks the same way. We've rallied up, and now we've kind of gone down, spread apart. Aussie Swiss, which I don't really trade much, but I will look at it. This one I'm not really a big fan of. So Aussie Yen. Now the Aussie Yen has been rallying because the yen has been really weak. You notice the last couple of days, especially yesterday, but which actually was really technically today with my time zone. But this candle, you see how much the Aussie Yen rallied, but that was really being driven by the yen being weak. So, I don't know if this has run its course, but this could be a trade. If the yen continues to be weak and the Aussie news comes out positive, that could really propel this one up. So that'll be an interesting to watch. And let's see, on the pound Aussie, yeah, same thing. Looks kind of like the Euro Aussie. We've got. Let's try to zoom out a little bit here. Although this looks like it's maybe a corrective move to the downside, I think it's got a little bit more to go. If we zoom down here, we see this kind of action right here, this going up, and to have this turn down. So my initial instinct here is to say it'll be positive for the Aussie. So I'd probably be looking to maybe sell pound dollar, sell euro dollar, maybe buy Aussie dollar or Aussie yen, and those, But again, it's going to depend. We're still a little ways away here. There's really not much in the news feed about this right now. So we're just gonna keep an eye on this. Forex Live, I'm not sure if they've got really anything here, but let's see here. But anyways, so so this is an interesting headline right here. Heads up for Kiwi traders, we should have a government in New Zealand by the end of the day. There was an election in New Zealand recently, but there's been a lot of turmoil and it hasn't been set. So this will be interesting. This depending, I don't know how this is going to go, but watch yourself if you're in any Kiwi trades, because once this is finally settled, I'm going to look into this a little bit more. This could be really interesting. And here's another headline about 5 reasons why we like buying the Aussie in dips. Might be something worth reading. And so that would go well with what I was saying about the Aussie strengthening on the news. But I'm really interested in this Kiwi news here. And this I'm on forexlive.com. Of course, there's nothing really here yet. So this guy, and again, I need to look into this. Is going to side with one of these two groups, it sounds like, and that's probably going to determine where the Kiwi it may have a short-term move based on that. My guess is that if this guy sides with the Labour Green Party, we'll probably see the Kiwi sell off. If we see go with the Nationals, it'll probably rally. So that'd be my guess, anyways. If their politics is anything like here in the United States. Anyways, guys, so that's about it. Maybe I'll make another video later on regarding this Australian dollar news. But I do think that that there should be a trade happening on this and on this Australian news, and so I'll be looking at this in another hour and a half or so to try to make a determination. And like I said, there hasn't really been a lot of news on this Australian dollar news coming out. I've been checking the feeds. There's really not a lot here. So I think it's just going to really just be, driven by this data and the chart pattern. So, and again, initially it looks to be pretty good for the Aussie. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, I hope that helps. Enjoy the video, I hope, and like it, share it, comment, and we'll be in touch. And like I said, maybe I'll make a follow-up afterwards. All right, thanks everybody. Talk to you soon.